Hi everybody, I just wanted to go through today and show you some products that I have from the fabulous brand Peaches. I have a fair bit of stuff. Admittedly, a few of these brushes aren't Peaches, but the majority of them are. I also have some of their bronzers and blush. I thought we could give it a little go and see what all the hype is about, because I keep seeing all these great reviews and keep hearing all these wonderful things. So I had to know. I'm just going to start with my foundation. I've also got a couple of new things to use today along with the Peaches, so I will show you those as we go. First thing I'm going to do is the It Cosmetics Foundation. If you haven't tried this, highly recommend it. I am in the shade Fair Neutral 11. It is a fantastic foundation. It's a little bit runny, so it is sort of serum-y-like. I have already prepped my skin. I've put some CeraVe moisturiser on. Then I followed up with some of the ultraviolet sunscreen, SPF 50. And then finally I have put down on top of the SPF sunscreen some Marc Jacobs, call it Youthquake, but it's a moisturising cream and you can also wear it as a primer. I guess it's Marc Jacobs's version of the Bobbi Brown face base, which is also another one that I love. Both really work well as a primer. Now this is a new product. This is the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot. This is a caffeine infused foundation and concealer. So you can use it as either or both. I'm going to use it as a concealer. Quite full coverage if you wanted to build it up that way. Also just very nice if you're wanting something that's going to do something for your skin. Again, this has got skincare in it, but big thing for under the eyes is it's got caffeine in it. So it'll help with that puffiness if that's something that bothers you. And it affects us all. So I'm just going to put most of that majority of that under my eyes and in the corner, and then I'm going to go back in with my finger and even it out under my eyes and blend it in a little bit better. Now I tried this concealer slash foundation out yesterday. Whilst I did really like it, it does not dry down. So that can be good and it can be bad. It's good in that it moves with your skin, so as your face moves, your concealer will move around. But in terms of longevity, depending on what you're wearing it with and what you want out of your concealer, you may want to set it, which is what I'm going to do. I set this with some of my By Terry translucent powder, and I'm going to use a Peaches brush. This is a Peaches PC03 brush, and I'm just going to hit under my eyes to start with. So this brush is quite loosely packed in terms of the bristles. They're not very close together, which means it's going to pick up a lot of product and it's going to distribute it the way it has here. When we're talking about under the eyes and around the nose, that's probably okay. So probably want something a little bit more like this for the rest of my face. This is the PC04. This By Terry powder will just wipe away. It's translucent. It's so finely milled, it's almost impossible to put too much on anyway. These brushes as well are so soft. They feel like a really high-end brush. PC06 brush. This is an angled brush. It's quite dense, perfect for foundation and also for cream. I'm going to take the bronzer. This is just cream contour, so universal shade. I'm just going to take that down my cheeks. I'm just tapping that in. It's blending very well. Got a good color payoff. It's going into the skin nicely. It's not sitting on top of my skin by any means. These universal shades are great. Always good to just build up as you go. You don't want to go in too heavy-handed. Two cream blushes. This one here is Tutti Fruitti, and this one here is Amaretto. Now, Amaretto looks like it would be quite dark, but it's actually a nice sort of deep peachy colour. And then obviously that Tutti Fruitti is going to be... So you can see the pigment is not at all shy in these products. I'm just going to use the Tutti Fruitti just to give you an idea of what that one looks like, and we can use this one in another video. I'm going to use this brush to put my blush on, and this is the PC18 brush, and you can see again it's not going to pick up too much of this cream product, but it's also going to help distribute it gently on my face. I don't want to brush where the bristles are too tightly compacted because that will apply too much. I want something that I can sort of use just to stab in, and then I can control the placement of where I put it. And I could absolutely use my fingers, but the whole idea of this is to show you the Peaches products. Placing the blush on the high points of my cheeks, literally over the top of my cheekbone, and my bronzer is down here. There is a definition, but at the edge of each of them, they sort of just gently blend into each other. And that, I think, makes it look a lot more natural. I do use a powder as well over the top, and the reason I use a powder is because it helps the longevity of the blush. I quickly powder the rest of my face. Everything I use is in the description above, so if there's something in particular, have a look there. Or if you've got any separate questions, just put it in the comments or send me a DM, whatever you like. Just go fix up my eyebrows and I will be right back. Eyebrows are done. I'll just fix up some bronzer and some blush, and then we'll move on to the eyes. These are some of the brushes that I got from Peaches. I really like this sort of dome-shaped brush. I like that sort of look of a brush. So there's 4 different sizes there. Now they have heaps. This is just what I got. There's a nice selection of eye brushes as well. I'm going to use this dome-shaped brush here for my bronzer and blush. I'm going to use my Benefit palette. This is a older one, so I want to use it up. It's going to take forever. I probably won't get there. I'm going to mix Hoola and Dallas together. These brushes are so soft. They're not holding onto the product. They're distributing it well, and they're distributing it equally as well. Sometimes with brushes, you find that you put your brush down, and wherever you've put it, most of the product tends to land there, and then it's hard to blend it out. These are very gentle, and I am tapping ever so gently as well. I'm not tapping hard. Quick, easy, no fuss. There's just enough pressure, the way the brush hairs are put together, that you can stipple it in, but also gently rub over if you need to. You don't want to be rubbing a lot because we don't want to disturb what's underneath. In terms of sort of getting into the hairline where you do have to rub a bit, it's very easy to do that with these brushes. I think I like some of these better than actually some of my Morphe brushes. I know, shun me. Emphasizing that there under the chin, tiny bit down here. These brushes are great too because they're getting into all the little nooks and crannies. They get easily under behind the ear, quick and easy to take along under the jaw. I'm going to use the blush in the palette, which is called Dandelion. Pop that over the top of what we already had down, just to emphasize it and help it last. Just mapping over where the Peaches blush was. I'm going to use the same brush now, and I'm just going to go into some of the highlighter here. Just put that down the side of the cheek at the top. I'm not bringing it past, I guess about the middle of my eye would be the absolute farthest I'd bring it. It's going to take a little bit of that across my forehead, just where the sun would naturally hit, and then also a little bit just on the bridge of the nose there, and then a little bit over the cupid's bow. So the pigments come in tiny little pots like this. There's a picture of on my Instagram if you want to have a look at the colors. This is just the MAC Burley. So even though I've put concealer down, you can still see how that pulls. Quickly go in, fix up lines there that have started to accumulate. I like to set my eyes with a shadow that is a similar color to my own skin tone. And I find by doing that, my shadows will look a lot better. They're a lot easier to blend. They'll last a lot longer. It's very rare that a setting powder alone would stop my eyes from creasing. If you have a yellow based color like what I have here, you can actually tap that under your eye area in case you want to bring shadow under your eye. It'll make it easier to blend. But not only that, because this is a yellow based color, it will help with color correction. If you just feel like for some reason you're color correcting not 100%, as long as it's not a shimmer shadow, you want to do a matte shadow. This is just my Makeup by Mario mattes palette. I'm just going to go in with this color here, just a neutral brownie color, and I'm just going to put that all over the lid and just blend it out beyond the crease. So this brown here, the other brown, I'm just going to do that in my crease. If you haven't seen these before, these are just little charcoal sponges. You get them on eBay. In between your eyeshadow application, you can go in and just run that along the charcoal and it will take off any colour. It's not a substitute for washing, but it will allow you to be able to use your brush that you want to use for longer without having to clean it in between looks. So that's what I do. The two colours I want to use are Lux and Pearl. The Pearl is, as the name suggests, a white creamy sort of shimmer, and the Lux is more an apricot golden colour. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the Lux. They come full to the top. You're definitely getting your money's worth. I'm just going to go in with a little stamper brush. I'm going to take this 3/4 across my eye, not into the very inner corner, and you can see how pigmented these colours are. So I'm just taking that all over the lid. Do the other eye. I'm sure you can see that. It's just amazing. I'm tempted to see what would happen if we spray our brush. Okay, so I've sprayed my brush and I'm just going to pat that on top of what we already have. Wow, that just takes that to a whole nother level, doesn't it? Okay, so this is a really super pigmented colour. Using such a small amount as well. I seem to have more here. Just very gently tapping that on and moving it around. I'm not worrying about the inner corner because I'm going to put the pearl there. I'm going to brush away any fallout. I'm going to go in with the pearl colour. You can see they're all packed to the very top, and I'm just going to tap that on the inner corner just to lighten up a tiny bit. Whatever's left on the brush, I'm just taking it back through the crease so it's all blended together. That's all. There's one here I really wanted to use, which is called Fondunculus. This is one of my favourite colours, I think, in the realm of the world of eyeshadow, except I have a few meetings today, so I can't wear it. This is the colour here. It's sort of like a multicoloured. Can you see that? Depending on which way you look at it, it pulls pink, purple, green. This would look really nice with a black eyeliner and really big lashes, maybe some lashes. This is the brown. Let me just put some of that on and you can see the difference that that makes. I'm going to run some of this along the bottom lash line. Then I'm actually going to take it across. Just get a smudging brush and I'm just going to smudge out that bottom lash line there just to soften it. If you like to put eyeliner along your bottom lash line but you still find after you've smudged it out that it looks a little bit too harsh or too dark, or you're having difficulty doing it, what you can do is you can actually add a shadow. You can add a shadow to your brush, get that shadow to help you smudge it out a bit, and it'll just make it a little bit easier to smudge out. Let's do the same thing to the other side. Do some mascara. Last thing. If you still need to wear a mask and you're looking for a cheap lip liner, definitely recommend these ones. They do last. And the other thing is they're so buttery. As long as your lips aren't really dry, you can actually get away with not putting anything at all on top. And if you don't put anything on top, you shouldn't really get any transfer. If you go and put a gloss on top of this, you will get transfer. This is just the NARS Turkish Delight lip gloss. And just to keep my lips a bit hydrated. That is the finished look. Thank you for watching and I'll be back again very soon. Have a lovely day. Bye guys.